Beginning in Genesis chapter 3, the serpent is introduced. He is described as being subtle, more subtle than any beast of the field. We have more of a description of Satan in John 8:44. Jesus tells the disciples, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do." He was a murderer from the beginning. And I want to stop there and just ask, when was the beginning? It was in Genesis. Okay, moving on, and it says, "And abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it." Okay, I want to note the words used to describe Satan. He's subtle, which means to operate in a way that's so small that it's not noticed. He's a murderer. It says he was a murderer from the beginning. He's a liar and the father of it. So the Satan has a conversation with Eve, and he talks her into eating from the tree of knowledge. She gives her husband some of the fruit, and he eats from the tree of knowledge also. Then it says the eyes of both of them are open in 3:7. Now sin has been introduced into the world. God curses Adam, Eve, and the serpent. And then in 3:21, it says, "The Lord makes them coats of skin and clothes them." One question I want to ask here is, where did the coats of skin come from to clothe them? And then in 3:22, it says, "The Lord is speaking to someone, and he tells them, Behold, man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also from the tree of life, and eat and live forever." So Adam knows both good and evil now. He would know, if nothing else but by comparison. He would be able to compare what he was eating before to what he's eating now. And then it goes on to say that there is redemption for Adam. Well, it says that in 3:22, that he's able to eat from the tree of life and live forever. But the Lord drives Adam away from the garden and the tree of life in 3:23 and 24. And he puts cherubims and a flaming sword, which turns every way to keep the tree of life. So there is redemption by going back and eating from the tree of life. But the Lord keeps Adam from having access to that tree. The Bible actually says that the only way we can redeem or have redemption and redeem ourselves is through Jesus.
There are two trees in the midst of the garden, the tree of knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life. The tree of knowledge of good and evil, God told Adam that the day he ate from this tree, he would surely die. So this tree is a tree of death. And Jesus calls Satan a murderer from the beginning in John 8:44. And the Bible also says that Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So when we associate death in the Bible and in our lives, we can be sure that it's linked to Satan. And obviously we can relate Jesus to anything that says life and anything that is pertaining to life. Because how many times does Jesus himself say that he is life? He preached, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." To the woman at the well, he said, "I am the water of life." To his disciples, he said, "I am the bread of life." So the day that Adam ate from the tree of knowledge, he was supposed to die, but he didn't. He didn't pass away that day. He lived to be over 900 years old. And there are a few more times in the Bible that people that are alive are referred to as being dead. In Matthew 8, Jesus says, "Let the dead bury the dead," when he's speaking to the man that wants to follow him, but he wanted to bury his father first. And in Matthew 23, Jesus tells the Pharisees that their outward appearance is beautiful, but on the inside they are full of dead men's bones and uncleanliness. Today we don't have to guess what is happening on the inside of the body. We have up-to-date science and technology that allows us to see the inside, and we can see that death is occurring microscopically in someone. And in many cases, eventually these types of death lead to a person becoming deceased. Some examples of these diseases are heart and lung diseases and diseases of the other organs, cancers, necrosis, and gangrene are some others. And many of these words literally are defined as death. Their literal meaning mean death. These types of deaths, most of them can be seen, or cannot be seen, because they act in a way similar to Satan. The way he is described as being subtle, so is the way that these deaths occur. They're very subtle. A person doesn't get diagnosed with lung disease after their first cigarette usually, and someone doesn't get diagnosed with diabetes after eating their first carb. In some cases, diabetes doesn't get diagnosed until a person is in their 30s or 40s. And how do these types of deaths occur? By someone being exposed to something and their body being exposed to a type of toxin that doesn't belong there. Okay, so back to Satan being a murderer. If Satan used food in Genesis to deceive Adam and Eve, and science tells us today that food kills us, it's one of the main reasons why people die in America and worldwide. Heart disease is the #1 killer of. Why do we think that we are exempt from food being used by Satan to do the same thing to us, to kill us? Remember, it was 2 different foods that were what gave Adam the knowledge of good and evil. One gave Adam the knowledge of good and one gave Adam the knowledge of evil. He knew both after eating from the tree of knowledge. It was food that gave Adam this knowledge. So one of these foods are good and one of these foods are evil. Otherwise, how would Adam be knowledgeable of it except for by eating from it? And that's exactly what he did. So my point is that if Satan used food in Genesis, he would certainly use it against us Christians today.